We also have some more people on the Facebook chat. Tarena Washington said defense is the key to the Lions' victory tonight. Venice Daniels said, how many penalties do number 0 Arnold have through the first 4 games? I don't know what the stat is on that, but he's got to be leading the league in penalties.
He is in the league. Yep. He is in pass interference calls.
Is it surprising? I know we talked about this is kind of when we gave I think the question was last week. How would you teach Terrion Arnold to get better in not having so many penalties? Is this something you said he's just making some bonehead mistakes? Is it kind of disparaging to see him keep making the same mistakes week in and week out? Does he look like he's improving at all defensively?
I think the moment is becoming too big,
okay,
in my opinion, for him. Just my personal opinion. He's a good football player. Obviously, he's an NFL football player.
Right.
I think that he is under a lot of pressure when he's playing that position versus really good football players. And it's a growth. It takes time for you to get to that place. You know, very few can come right into the league as rookies and be great at corner. Yeah. It's a much tougher development position and to play. And the one thing Corey and I talked, during the game, he's reactionary. And this is why he keeps getting caught in situations where he's holding and grabbing. He's not being proactive in his technique, in his mindset, in his preparation, and 4 guys he's playing against. Like I said last week, you got to watch film on these guys. You got to find out their tendencies. You got to find out their favorite things they like to do. You got to kind of know, what you're going to be going up against before it happens. You can't go out there and just play the game on natural ability. And I don't want to think that he's that kind of a football player. But he came from Nick Saban. I'm sure he was coached hard. I'm sure he was coached well. Right. And that doesn't mean that he's not going to be a good football player at corner. It's just right now, I think, again, he's too reactionary. And when you become a reactionary football player and not a guy that's prepared and not ahead of the game a little bit, you're getting caught with your hands always on someone and holding and grabbing and things of that nature.
Yeah, Blank, real quick.
Sure.
Is it a wash for this year for him? Because we're week 5 here. So this is what it's going to be. Is it too late to try to get him better this year? It's never too late, but I'm asking, is this what we're going to see?
What I believe is going to happen is they're going to have to make him the nickel corner.
Okay.
They're going to have to move him off the island by himself, and they're going to have to move him inside.
Okay.
And they're going to have to let him gain confidence. Okay. The one thing that can happen, and I promise you it won't happen, they won't keep him out on that island like that the rest of the year because ultimately it's going to cost you a game.
Gotcha.
Ultimately it's going to put you in a situation where you're going to end up losing a game because of it. And again, it's growth. It takes time.
Okay.
Nothing against that young man. He's going to get better as it goes, but that's a lot of pressure. Those moments are big.
Yeah.
And what I'm seeing, when I say the moment is too big, what I'm seeing is a young man that's in panic mode a lot of the times. When you're grabbing and reaching, it's because you're being beat.
Okay.
And you're not in position. You got to be proactive so that you are in position.
Gotcha.
So that you could be able to make plays coming downhill and not always chasing and looking and grabbing to try to make a play. If you're proactive, you're on top of the play.
Gotcha.
You're in a position already because you got an idea where it's coming from and where it's going to be.
Okay.
I think that, like, to answer your question again, Corey, they're going to have to move him around.
Gotcha.
And have them help him in nickel packages where he's the extra defensive back. And that's probably going to be their best bet.
Okay.
Warren Cannon writes in on this topic of Terrion. He's going to cost the Lions a big game, which I believe that could be true. He needs to get back to the fundamentals and the basics of how to play in the NFL, not college football. Good to hear from Utah Iceman, your boy Warren Cannon Blue.
Okay.
Oh, my man. Okay. Appreciate you.
Dave B. from Port Huron writes in, nobody scares me. We have grit.
Did he say that, really?
He said that. Dave B. from Port Huron, nobody scares me. We have grit. Jaime from Southwest Detroit, only thing that scares me is injuries. The Lions are Super Bowl bound if healthy. People are on this train, and they're like David Montgomery. They're riding up the middle. They're going to go all the way to the end of the year
The games have to be played.
The
The games have to be played. A lot of them.
Yeah.
First quarter of the season, they just got to this particular point. When I say first quarter, I mean literally 4 games in. You got to go another 4 that'll get you to 8. You got another 4 that'll get you to 12, and then another 4 to get you to 16 and 17.
Blank, that's perfect what you just said. But I'm seeing something. So we keep saying defense. Everybody's defense, defense, defense. Wouldn't that make you think that defense is not going to win a Super Bowl? Wouldn't that?
Yeah.
Can we just logic this down? Can we just dumb this down?
Yeah, yeah.
Is that a Super Bowl winning defense?
Well, if you compare them to Baltimore, who's still growing and getting better, if you compare them to Kansas City, who has the best defense in the league, or one of them, if you compare them to Washington, who people are not paying a lot of attention to, who is a solid football team, Houston, another solid football team, Minnesota, best defense in the league statistically. Green Bay has a really good defense as well.
Yeah.
Got a lot of good defense. Chicago defense is no slouch. You got some good defenses out here.
Yeah.
The thing that I am starting to see, and I know you guys are seeing this as well, defenses will never be what they used to be. They won't be any more 2000 Baltimore Ravens. Nope. You won't see those type of defenses because the game is different.
Right.
What they've allowed to happen now offensively and what teams are able to do offensively and how the game is such an offensive-driven league now because they want to see you scoring points. Right. It's set up that way. So you won't see those great, super amazing defenses, but Kansas City Chiefs has been really good the last few years on defense.
Yeah, they have.
San Francisco 49ers have been really good on defense. Detroit has to get to that place, to me, if they're going to consider themselves to be a Super Bowl favorite. Now, a playoff team, yes. A team that has a chance to make it to the NFC Championship game again, yes. To be a Super Bowl team, you need to be elite at 2 of the 3 phases of the game. Mm-hmm. Offense, defense, or special teams, you choose the 2. That'll put you in a Super Bowl.